here on this kind of crappy Thursday, September 2nd, 2021. His day started out pretty decent, sunny, feeling pretty good outside. Then, bam, the rain decided to hit. It's kind of been on and off. This is about the second time I've seen it rain now in the past, 2 hours. So, you get the drift. Not the greatest, but hey, the start of college football is basically starting tonight. We did have games, last weekend, but it starts tonight. We have a big matchup between the Minnesota Golden Gophers and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Should be a good one. That's at 7 right after the show, in which we will get to later. So I'm going to try to keep things as brief as possible so that we have enough time and I have enough time to kind of, get myself all settled down. So I'm ready to watch some college football because I don't got a TV in front of me or anything like that right now. So we'll leave it at that. I'll get to that game later and the start of college football later. But other than that, we got some news. This is kind of surrounding Urban Meyer, okay, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then we're going to shift gears to Zach Ertz and the Philadelphia Eagles and what's going on with that situation. And like I said, end with some college football. So with that being said, are you ready to get your fix? Well, let's start with Urban Meyer. So last week, I believe, or early this week, it came out that, early this week, because Tuesdays was the cut day, and it came out that Urban Meyer said, hey, vaccination status was one of the key opponents that we went and looked at, deciding who is going to be on our team. Okay. Makes sense. Sounds good. Whatever. COVID's a real thing. That people can get sick. You can, forfeit games, and we'll talk about that in a bit. And the NFL's like, hold on here. Okay, it's not mandated. You can't, cut somebody because of their vaccination status. Something's not right here. We got to take a look into this a little bit further. So the NFL is investigating this whole situation of Urban Meyer really saying, hey, we took into account their vaccination status. If not, they're going to be a Jacksonville Jaguar at the start of the 2021 season. And you can't do that. Okay, like I said, it's not mandatory to get the vaccination. Okay, it's not. All right, yeah, there's incentives and they're sort of, kind of, trying to mandate a little bit the best they can. But that's just how it is right now. It's not mandated, so you can't. They have their own choice. Okay, it's their choice whether or not they want to get vaccinated. But I understand the aspect of him going and looking at this vaccination status because of what I said earlier, which was, the fact that they might have to forfeit games this year. So last year, right, COVID was a serious thing. No fans in the stadium, had to do all these safety protocols put in place because COVID was pretty much, and still is, new to us because of all these variants and stuff, right? But we've seen games every single day. I mean, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had a game of NFL football, whether that was week, 3, week 14, something like that. We had a game on every day of the week last year. And this year, the NFL is like, look, okay, we've kind of hit COVID on the nose a little bit. Vaccinations started coming up. The protocols are safe enough where, players shouldn't be testing positive that much or that often. And we got the right things in place. So guess what? All right? No moving games from day to day. I'm sure they'll still do the the time move back and stuff like they have in the past because that's just what happens in football. But day to day they won't be switching games, especially so like basically the rule is, okay, if an unvaccinated player gets COVID. Okay, the team's unable to participate in the game or travel because a lot of people are infected. They got to go through tests or whatnot. Say it's the day before the game. Well, that team has to forfeit that game, which, obviously is a loss in the L column. All right? So that makes, coaches, GMs, owners want to be like, oh, okay, well, we got to make sure we have, as many vaccinated players as we can on our squad so that we don't have to face the repercussions of maybe having to forfeit a game or, having to have our star player who is vaccinated out and stuff like that. So, yeah, I understand this whole situation with having to look at the vaccination status, but that shouldn't be, a part of your, I guess, hiring process or signing process. It's like, I'm trying to think of a way to kind of, explain this. It's like pretty much broad. We'll say it like this. Okay, you go in to a job, you have tattoos on your arms. They don't mean anything horrendous or stupid and stuff like that. They're just fine. They look good, and the job's like, ooh, so you got tattoos? Yeah, sorry, we're not hiring. Well, and then the next guy comes in, clean as can be, no tattoos, probably a shitty resume, and they're like, oh, fuck it, we'll give you a chance. You look like a clean-cut person. Okay, discrimination. That's kind of what it is. That's what it leads to. And I don't want to dive into that because that's a whole sticky subject, but I mean, like I said, there's an understandable point of this or part of this, and there's also, the cons. So we got pros and cons of this. Like, yeah, you got to make sure you have as many vaccinated players on your team so that, you don't have to face, having to maybe forfeit the possibility of having to forfeit and, possibility of losing your star and stuff like that, where, like, it's their choice. It's their fucking choice. It's a medical thing, all right? This is completely confidential. Who gives a shit? Like, just leave it alone, all right? That's my take on it. I don't know. Hopefully, obviously, I think the worst that's going to happen with this whole situation is they're probably fined if, they find substantial evidence that says, okay, Urban actually, like, cut players that weren't vaccinated on purpose because he wanted to make sure that, hey, we need every single 53 people on our roster to be vaccinated, be ready to come game day. And it'll be interesting how that all plays out. The worst, like I said, is that I think is possible that might happen would be that he's going to face a fine, maybe lose a draft pick if something is found out that he did wrongful. But I don't think so. Obviously, I think he was just caught in the middle of a, after practice, hot day in Jacksonville, in Florida down there, having to worry about, your team, your family, and all this stuff, and COVID, and just kind of slipped his mind a little bit, probably said something a little wrong or a little off than what he actually meant to say. So we'll kind of, see how that story develops a little bit because they are going to need as many people on that 53-man roster to stay healthy this whole year if they want to win any games, okay? I still think they're going to have the possibility of winning at least maybe 5 games. They'll definitely have a better season last year. But, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Let's get to Zach Ertz and the Philadelphia Eagles. So this morning I'm on Twitter, and it shows that Zach Ertz has, gave his apology to the Philadelphia Eagles organization, saying that he was sorry for, his antics on and off the field this offseason, and wanting a trade and wanting more money and being just kind of, dumb, if you will. But he gave his apology, saying, like, hey, look, I want to be a Philly till I retire. I want to be an Eagle till I retire. This is where it started. This is where I want it to end, and I'm very, very sorry for my actions. I'll do better. I'll be a professional about this and stuff. And, it's interesting to kind of look at this because, after last season, a lot of the talk going around, at least what I was thinking too, was, Zach Ertz has the possibility of, getting traded out of Philadelphia. That's a big possibility. Dallas Goedert's looking like a good red zone threat, can catch the deep ball, can block very well, does everything Zach Ertz can do a little bit better, and he stays healthy. Okay, granted, we haven't seen Dallas Goedert have a breakout year yet, but at the same time, that's why you're thinking, okay, Zach Ertz might be on his way out. He's getting older. It's time to shift the reins shift the reins to Dallas Goedert, give him, full go at it as a starter, and really see what he can do. Because the man had 10 touchdowns I think last year. I think like 800 yards or something like that. Probably a little bit less than that actually. I think it was like 600 range, but. You get my drift, okay? We're thinking Zach Ertz is not going to be an Eagle. Comes into this season, has fucking bleach blonde hair, and it's just, he looks weird. Who knows if he's going to fit the system that well. But Philly's keeping him, okay? Philly's going to, roll with both Dak and Dallas Goedert this year, and they're going to need to. Who knows how Jalen Reagor is going to perform in year 2? Who knows how Devontae Smith is going to perform this year? There's a lot of questions up there, especially with Jalen Hurts at quarterback. You need those veteran players that have been there, done that, in order to, give your team the best possibility for success going forward this season. Okay, and I think keeping both these tight ends is a good step forward, or a good step in that direction. because you got two really, really good weapons. Okay, say Zach Ertz doesn't go down, you still got Dallas. Say Dallas goes down, you still got Zach. They both go down, well then fuck. Like, what are you gonna do at that point? But I think this is good news that, or for at least Philly fans, for at least NFL fans, that hey, Zach Ertz is staying in Philadelphia. Hopefully, he's gonna help out Jalen Hurts in his year 2 and get the Eagles back on the win column a little bit, because that division was just dog shit last year, just terrible. But hey, we'll see how all that transpires, especially that Urban Meyer situation, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're still going to have a head coach. Urban Meyer's still going to be that head coach there. Like I said, it's probably just going to be a fine or draft pick loss or something like that. And with Zach Ertz in Philadelphia, hey, he either has to ball out or it's over. Like, that's what's pretty much, that's the moral of the story of that situation. Well, let's get to college football. Huh? I'm excited. All right, start of college football tonight. Basically, we did have those games like I talked about last weekend, but tonight, Ohio State, Minnesota, should be a good one. Ohio State's ranked 4. They did lose a lot of players, including Justin Fields, but they have, I mean, the reputation is just unbelievable. It's the fucking Buckeyes, okay? It seems like, here's Ohio State in the Big Ten, kind of here's everybody else trying to keep up as best they can, and it feels like Ohio State might, be, who knows, on their way out of the Big Ten, maybe in, who knows, with this whole, shifting of division, shifting of teams and stuff like that. But this is a big night, all right, especially with this weekend coming up. We have a lot of games on Saturday, obviously. I can't remember. I think Kirk Herbstreit went on Twitter, and I think it's like 60-some games or something just ridiculous in football tomorrow for Division I. So that's awesome. Or not tomorrow, Saturday. But tonight is the start. The Golden Gophers get a chance. I think they have about 80% of their starters back from last year, something like that, if I'm correct. So they should all be very, connected as a group. The chemistry should be there. They should know the playbook, how to run things. But the only thing, I guess last year was they couldn't stop the run. That was just a big thing about the Gophers, is they couldn't stop the run. They just had a hard time. So hopefully they figure out a way to do that tonight. This is going to be a very good battle. Okay, Ohio State obviously ranked 4th. Okay, new quarterback, new running back. But the thing that's still really, really solid there, and I think will be for at least a while, is that wide receiver room. Okay, Olave's still there. Can't remember that one dude's name. I just was looking it up, but they got a lot of depth at wide receivers. So that's the scary thing, is they can put those guys in, and they're always fresh and they're ready to roll. And you can't forget that Ohio State's just, that's where 5-star recruits go on a regular basis, like Alabama, Clemson, and all those other big schools. But tonight's going to be a big night. College football's back. I'm going to do my best to cover it this year. We'll see how well it does. But like I said, earlier, a couple months ago, I noted how I'm going to start going into more sports and, try to bring in more, college football. For sure, that'll be the one. Basketball, baseball, and all those stuff. So I'm going to start here with college football. We'll see how well I do. I haven't watched college football that much in the past, more of a big name type of guy, but I'll follow as much as I can, see those bigger names, get those stories out to you guys, and give you my thoughts and stuff like that. Well, that is going to end the show today, as now it's time, like I said, to go watch some college football. Starts at 7, Ohio State Buckeyes versus the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Should be a good one. Hopefully Gophers don't get blown out, and if they win, that'd be awesome. Fuck yeah. Beating a number 4 ranked team. Let's do it, fellas. Let's go out there. Let's fucking hit it on the nose and knock off the Buckeyes once and for all. So enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow to end the week at 6 p.m. And you just got your fix with the Wicks. Thank you guys, and have a good one.